Hello, everyone. So, today I thought I would talk about, um, well, not falling into a coma, but coming out of a coma. It was interesting and scary because I didn't know who I was. And apparently, I kept talking gibberish and like a baby, not making any sense. Um, I do remember not being able to move my body. So I was immobile from the chest down. I could move my arms, but they were very kind of like I had no control over holding them steady or even lifting my hands. I couldn't lift my head off the bed. I had no control of my neck. I had no control of my spine or my legs. I had to learn how to sit. And that took a while and it took effort. So, as we take for granted, naturally, that we can get up and sit and walk and do whatever it is we do because, we're born to do that. When you come out of a situation like coma, you really start learning to appreciate every little movement, even blinking your eyes. There was a point where I couldn't speak well enough to communicate. I had to have my brother and my family communicate for me, because I wasn't mentally capable at that moment. Um, I remember them asking me to sit at the edge of the bed, and I couldn't do it. I couldn't, my spine would wiggle. I was I had no control of any movement. I couldn't sit. Um, it took a while. I remember thinking I had to think and process every movement. I had to think with my mind, okay, you move to the side of the bed, you hold your spine tall, tighten your core. Every little movement I had to think about to send a signal to that area in my body to make that happen, if I could. It took time. I remember the first time I stood, it was like 3 seconds and I couldn't stand because my knees would buckle. My feet couldn't hold my weight. Um, it was pretty, I thought I would never walk again or move again or feed myself again. It was a really challenging moment in my life. I was bedbound for 5 months in the hospital until one day I was getting tired of people coming in and changing my diaper several times a day, and I would look from my bed, I'd turn my head, and I would see the restroom. And I remember thinking to myself, that's my goal, to get on that commode and utilize it. That to me was Christmas. I remember the first time I took a shower after I got out of a coma. Um, that took 6 months before I could make it with a walker and assistance to get into the shower, barely hold myself up because I had to sit. And just to feel the water running down my body and my face was the most amazing experience to me. Um, that was difficult, very difficult, and so gratifying because my goal was to walk 10 steps to that bathroom, and eventually try to gain control of my bowels so that I can do that. And eventually I did. Um, thank goodness. It was a lot of prayer and a lot of hard work. I remember getting up and trying to walk, and my blood pressure would go sky high because I hadn't walked in God knows how long, 5 months or so, maybe a little longer. Um, I remember how all the nurses and were so excited because I walked 12 steps. Now, those 12 steps were baby steps, very tiny steps, but it was the beginning, of achieving the goal of being somewhat normal again, you know. Um, I'm relying on myself to take care of myself. So that was challenging. Every day, bit by bit, a little more. And again, I thought I'd never walk again. I thought I'd never be able to take care of myself again. And here I am, living on my own, walking, weirdly, but walking. It's getting better every day. And I'm as healthy as I can be for the moment. I still need those transplants. We're getting closer and closer. Um, I just had a stress test 2 days ago. Um, Seemed to go pretty well. I didn't have any issues with it. Of course, it wasn't the one on the treadmill, it was a chemical one, but it was pretty easy breezy, 4 hours, but I feel good about it. So now on to the next step. And then after that, which I'll be honest is a colonoscopy. After the colonoscopy, um, they'll approve me for DNA mapping for the organs, which I am looking to get a kidney and a pancreas. God willing, that works out. And for the first time in 35 years, I won't be a type 1 diabetic, and I'll have kidney function again. I won't be in renal failure. I thought I'd show you today how I carry the PD catheter. Um, so forgive me, I'm going to stand now and probably be out of focus for a second. So this is how I carry the catheter. It's a belt, goes around my waist, and there's the actual site, and here's the catheter. It goes in the belt. This is the main connector. Goes in that little slot there. And it stays around my waist, nice and secure, so I feel pretty confident that it's not going to get pulled on, and that I can manage it without any problem and get around and go about my day and not feel insecure that it's going to fall out or I'm going to pull it out. So I recommend this belt. It's not expensive. It's about $20 on Amazon, and it's washable. So that's good. It's made of some nylon elastic fabric, so it's very flexible. I even, after doing the PD dialysis, I put it back on and I can sleep with it with no problem. So that's a great thing. I thought I'd share that with you, a little bit of my experience. And till next time, have a wonderful, beautiful day.